here, bringing another Monday musing on a Tuesday. So apologies for that. Last few days I've got hardly any sleep due to my bloody back, so I've not felt like doing one of these. But I've got a few things to discuss today. Nothing drastic or anything like that. So we'll get straight into it really. First of all, I've started up a Twitch account which I can stream my Xbox One gameplay. So I will put a link in the description below and on all future videos for the link to my Twitch channel. It will just be Xbox One. I'm not a PC gamer, even though I have got a PC. I won't be doing any gameplay on that at all. But if you want to take a look and if you want to follow me, it will send you an email every time I do start broadcasting something, and if you do want to have a look, just pop along. I won't be doing commentary during those because I do find it difficult to actually talk and play at the same time. But there is a chat room facility which I can monitor, and I will respond to moments where I pause the game. So if you want to pop along and have a look, feel free to do so. So that's that out of the way. Second thing I just want to talk about was just difficulty level in games in general. I've been playing UFC, which I've done a couple of videos on the channel when I first started playing it, and I'm now playing on Pro difficulty level, which is the hardest difficulty level in the game for the career mode. And it's just like, how to make a game harder, what's the best way to do it? Well, on this game it seems to throw half the game away, because the AI is so on the ball. You can't counter anything else. Can't counter anything that he does. If he grabs you, and in UFC they try, when they grapple you, they can transition around between different grapples and move your arms and it's getting better grapple positions and stuff. Well, the AI counters that near enough 99% of the time. I mean, it's just ridiculous. You just cannot do a damn thing against it. You're basically just going where he wants you to go, and just like that until he decides to let you go. It's just stupid. So I mean, all the in-depth tutorials that I did, which took about 3 hours to go through all the 90, 100 odd bloody exercises, however many there was absolutely tons. They're just not relevant anymore on this difficult level because they just don't work. Same with if they take you down. If they take you down on the ground, again it's the same. You can transition around. You like grappling for position, rolling around on the floor, trying to get in a better position, or flick them over so they're on the bottom, you're on the top. Again, you pretty much can't do that. Again, 99% of the time they'll counter it. And also, when you're down on the floor, you're then open to submissions. And the way the submissions work is you've got up, down, left, right. If you're being put in a submission, you've got to push one of the directions and get it to the outer edge of the thing that appears on the screen. And the way your opponent keeps you in submission is by also pushing that same direction to prevent the movement of the bar to the edge. Now, all the other difficulty levels, it's pretty fair, but on Pro difficulty level, if they seem to push the direction you're pressing every time. I've even gone down to the extreme of just twirling the stick around, so I'm like instantly flicking different directions and randomly flicking different directions, and you get hardly zero movement on the bar at all. So it's like counting you within like 0.1 of a second. So you get zero movement, and with these submissions, if you don't escape them in about 20 seconds, that's it, fight over. So it's just ridiculous. It's just like all this training and all these in-depth movements that you can do and everything, you just can't do them anymore. So you've basically got to stay on your feet and just try and take them out that way. But that leads me to the next problem now. I've got about 20 fights into the career now, and even that's becoming impossible now because you're coming up against opponents which are like the bloody Terminator. You just literally one punch you and you've instantly got critical damage on that part of the body. Now, you yourself to do that, I mean, you've got to hit them quite a good few times in that same part of the body to start to cause damage, significant damage to them. But then one hit, bang, dead. I mean, it's ridiculous. I mean, I've managed to fluke my way to the title fight, and this guy is just ridiculous. I mean, in terms of stats, my character's rating is 94 and this guy's 98, and it's only like 4 points difference, but honestly, one punch and I'm wrecked. So what am I supposed to do? Go through the entire fight not getting hit? That's like impossible to do. I've done a video of it, so I'm going to cut to that video now just to show you it, and you just watch. It's just bloody ridiculous. Now you might say in the video I don't block or anything, but you block and you literally, he gets through your block anyway because he's punching that hard. Your block resistance just gets annihilated, which annihilates your stamina, which means you can't do a damn thing, and then you can't move fast, you can't dodge his blows, and he punches you anyway with his one-shot punch, and you're knackered. Game over. Now, I was thinking, watch the video and see what you think anyway.
Here we go, first round,
Assassin.
you ready?
And here we go. The welterweight title is on the line. Championship fight scheduled for 5 5-minute rounds. Black trunks for Assassin. Red trunks for the champion. Carlos Condit, the natural born killer. Whoa! Oh my! Just like that!
It's alright, you're back from the video now. It's just total bullshit. Utter total bullshit. Now, what's the best way to handle difficulty in a fighting game then? I mean, I don't think increasing their damage is the answer, because it's just stupid, and what they've done in this game is just ridiculous, because it's just basically destroying the gameplay they've actually set up. I mean, other games handle difficulty. I mean, less lives. I know you don't get lives in this game, but I'm just thinking, how do you make a game harder? So we've had less lives in the past, haven't we? We've had we have usual FPS difficulty spikes where you they do increased damage to you. Beat 'em ups, it's usually you do reduce damage, they do increased damage. So I don't know what the answer is, but in this game, it's just not the way to go with it. It's just completely destroying the experience. Worst of all, I mean, the reason I'm doing it on Pro difficulty level is that there's an achievement on it as well to get into the Hall of Fame on Pro difficulty level. But I don't know how many fights you can actually lose, and I'm presuming you're gonna have to win the title. I mean, I've retried this guy quite a lot of times, and sometimes like in the video, he takes you out in a half a minute. It's just absolutely bloody insane. It is absolutely crazy. Right, well, get on to the next thing now. I'm possibly getting a modded original Xbox. I'm just looking into it at the moment, because obviously the Xbox uses RGB cables, and I only can record things that connect via HDMI. So I'm looking at the possibility of getting seeing if there's something such as an RGB to HDMI converter box, which I think I have found something. I'm just waiting for an answer back from the supplier just to see if it actually does what I think it does. But this modded Xbox original console, you know, it's not that you can't call it the Xbox One, can you? Because obviously we've got the Xbox One now, but the original Xbox, the old black and green machine, that it's a modded version, and it's got like an upgraded dashboard, and it's got something called Coin Op Lite 6 on it, and if I believe right, it's literally got thousands of games on there. MAME games, C64, Amiga, Atari ST, and it's got Neo Geo games on there. It's absolutely got the bloody works on there. So if it's what I'm thinking is, again, waiting for an answer back from the seller there, it's going to be a really good investment for me, because it's going to mean I can play all the games in one spot really, and have a better controller to actually use them, because the Xbox controller, even the original Xbox controller, was pretty good control pad to use. It was a bit too chunky, but it was still a decent pad. So yeah, I'm looking into getting one of those really. But the main stumbling block is the DVR that I've got, the Harpage DVR recorder. It only has HDMI connections, so I'll need to connect it through an HDMI. which obviously the original Xbox doesn't do, so that converter would be crucial to it. Obviously, I think you probably would lose some kind of visual quality due to conversions and such as that. But the television I've got at the moment, it's only a quite cheap and natty television, to be honest with you. But it seems to display the old console games pretty well, actually, better than I would have thought it would. I mean, I've had some more expensive televisions that just don't give a good display as this one does for the old consoles. So yeah, I'm quite hopeful that's all going to come together, really, and it's probably going to cost about 50 quid in total, which is pretty much a bargain, really, for everything that I'm actually going to get from it. Yeah, so that's pretty much all I've got to discuss this week, really. I've not really had an eventful week. There's not been a lot in the news at all. Oh yeah, one other thing, yeah, is the Xbox, the idea Xbox scheme seems to have all of a sudden sprung into life over the past week. We had an absolute ton of releases. I mean, not a lot of them was actually mentioned. They're actually coming out. They just appeared on the dashboard. First of all, we had Another World 20th Anniversary Edition, reasonably priced at $6.99, which I picked up straight away. Again, you could play that in the old retro version or the updated graphics. It's still a good game. It's a very short game, but still a very highly playable game to this day, really, and probably deserved a 20th anniversary. Can't actually believe it's 20 years actually since I first played that on the Amiga. But around the Amiga and the Mega Drive, and just an amazing game. It was the precursor to Flashpoint, which is probably the better game. But yeah, well worth it. So that appeared out of nowhere. Then we had a game called Contrast also appeared out of nowhere. That was an updated version of the Xbox 360 version of it, the arcade game. I'm not sure if it's on the PlayStation as well, but again, that appeared out of nowhere. And what else did we have? Oh, there's Ultimate Zombie Driver Ultimate Edition. We had appeared out of nowhere as well. Again, I know that's available on the Xbox 360 arcade, but not obviously the Ultimate version. I'm not sure what the differences are. But again, why are they just releasing these games out the blue? There's no advertising, I mean, nobody seems to know when they're coming out, and bang, all of a sudden these 3 games came out, as well as Valiant Hearts, which was an amazing game, comes out at the same time as well. So you've got 4 games all out at the same time vying for your cash. Now, if these idea Xbox developers can just literally upload them to the Xbox servers and press a button to make it go live, pretty much like you do with a YouTube video, then you're going to have a potential scenario where an absolute shed ton of games get released all at once, and somebody's going to lose out there. I mean, I like to buy as many of them as I can, really. So I managed to pick up all 4 of those games that I mentioned, but it's going to get to a point where some people are going to have to actually choose what they're going to want, even though they might want them both, and it's just going to make them lose out eventually. Because I mean, we've got 4 games this week. It's feasible that you could have 10 games appear all of a sudden, and just absolutely mental. I do like it that they've got more freedom now and don't have to go through all that stupid verification process that Microsoft put in the way, just so they could justify charging them bloody money for doing something that didn't need doing. But again, I think there needs to be some kind of way they can communicate with one another, really, so we don't just bombard one day with too many releases. But yeah, I quite like the games as a whole that have come out this week, though. I've given a few of them a quick go, and I played Valiant Hearts through all the way to its completion. That's the best way I can describe it. It's a simple gameplay, but it's done very, very well, and the story on it's fantastic. I mean, it's one of those games you've got to play for the experience. The gameplay's not going to set anything on fire, but for the experience, you do really have to give it a go. And I think that came out on all formats. That did PS3, Xbox 360, PS4, Xbox One, and WPC as well. But yeah, graphically beautiful, cel shaded graphics, very thought provoking story. It just goes through like the impact of war on people as a whole, really, especially one family in particular. How it just tears families apart and deals with all the aftermath of war as well. But yeah, very thought provoking game. And like I say, the gameplay to boot was like I say, simple but good and effective. Well worth the money, really. Well worth the money. Yeah, and that is it now. I've nothing else to discuss this week. Hopefully by next week I might have that console, so I might be able to show you something on that. But other than that, guys, thank you very much for watching today.